Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is John Ruffin, and I'm going to show you DevOps. Yes, Dev plus some Ops. On the Dev side, we're going to create a brand new Java application using a Maven archetype. We're going to commit that to our local Git repository, and then we're going to push that to a remote Git repository running in Amazon Web Services on an EC2 instance. And then when we get to the EC2 instance, I'm going to show you the Jenkins pipeline plugin. Yes, the Jenkins pipeline plugin is going to build our application for us. Let's get started. So you see here on my screen, I have already kind of preceded the Maven archetype command. So we are going to create an application. Here's our group name. It's going to be com.johnruffin or jruffin.app. And then our artifact ID is going to be go Cubs go. Yes, everyone should have Cubs fever by now. Let's go with that. We'll start that. This shouldn't take too long. I've done this a couple of times before already. And there you are. We have a brand spanking new Java application. Now let's go in and make a quick change to, since we're test-driven developers, let's go into go Cubs go / source test. We'll go in here and see we have an app.test. So we're going to do a vim on app.test, apptest.java. And in here you see this is a basic test, JUnit. Nothing super special here. But we will go down here and just add some text. Let's print something out here. How about that? So we'll insert a line here. And we'll just say out print line. Welcome to Dev plus Ops. How about that? Print that out. So we're trying to use, we need to go here because we're trying to use a static import. And here, insert, import, static, right? Java.lang.system with a capital S dot out. All right, that should get us a little closer. Quit. All right, so we have just edited our test. Next thing we want to do is Git, right? We want to do a Git init right here. So let's go back to workspace / go Cubs go. And in here we want to initialize our Git repo, Git init, like that. So it is initializing the empty Git repository right there. Now we want to do Git status to see what's going on. All right. So let's see if we can actually use Maven to build apps, since we did make a change to it, right? Let's say Maven test. See what happens if it go ahead and compile and run the test. If all goes well, we should see, yeah, there it is. Welcome to Dev plus Ops, and we see that the test executed properly. All right, so we're good right there. Now, let's do a Git status again, just to make sure we're all clear. Git status. And then we see there's a target directory there. We do not need to version control the target. So let's edit the .gitignore file, and we will insert target right here. We don't want to version control that. We want to ignore that. And then we'll do a Git status again. And now it's gone. All right. So we do have, now we have our gitignore file there. We do want to version control that. And now we can, let's do a git add. All right, it's going to add everything. And now we can do a git commit -m. This is going to be our message. And we're going to say initial commit. Sounds good? There it is. And we are off and running in our local repo. So next thing we want to do, we want to be able to add this to our remote repository. Yeah, in order to do that, we need to clone a bare copy of this. So we don't, in our remote, we don't need our working directory, right? All we really need is the metadata from what Git has. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll git clone -- bare, I believe. And we're going to call it, it is called go cubs go with capital G. I'm going to output it to go cubs capital G go dot git. I think that's right. Go cubs go does not exist. Aha! You didn't tell me. We are actually in the wrong directory. We need to go here, and then we can run the same command. All right, so it looks like I have already done this. And so we're going to rm-rf go cubs go dot git. We'll get rid of that. Now let's do it one more time. Now, all right. We have a bare repository there. Now we need to copy this guy over to our remote server. So our remote server, let's go over to the browser. This is our Amazon Web Services EC2. This is where our instances are. This is my CD playground, right? Continuous integration, continuous deployment playground. And this is the IP address for that EC2 instance. 52.91.61.225. I'll copy that. We'll go back over here. Now we need to secure copy, right? -r, right? Recursive. Go. That would be C. Cubs go dot git, because that really is a directory. We're gonna copy that to. We'll use our git user that's already set up for us. 52 dot, what's it? 91.61.225, I believe. And I know that we are in the, we want to put that in the opt-git folder, just like that. So we've already do that. We have a bare repository, and this is what it's called, gocubsgo.git. Now we want to copy that over to our remote server. So securely copy that. Now you can see that it is moving along. Actually, over here in another tab, I've already SSH'd into that server. So let's do an ls on gocubsgo.git. All right, okay. And there's what we just transferred over in this window. So now we're still on our development side. We need to go back into gocubsgo, right? And we need to add a remote, add the remote. So we just copied it over to the remote directory. Now we need to tell this directory where we're going to send it when we actually push. So we need to run git remote add origin git remote add origin, and they're going to use the same git user at 52 2.61. That was 91, right? Should have told me. 61.225. Slash opt slash get slash, what do we call it? Go Cubs Go, right? Capital G dot get add. All right, so let's make sure that that put properly. We'll do a get remote dash v for both. Okay, looks like it's good. Now the next thing we want to do, I guess, is to see if we can push to that remote. So let's do a get push origin master. It says that everything is up to date, and this is actually what we should expect because we just did a clone from Go Cubs Go, and we hadn't changed anything since we did clone. So we did the clone, then we copied it over, and now we're trying to actually do a push. So it says everything's up to date. There's nothing to change, right? Everything is exactly the same because we just copy it and pasted it over there. All right, so now let's go to the remote server. So over here you will see that we have Jenkins. Let me expand that just a little bit. Yep. So we have Jenkins here. Jenkins is configured, and we want to do a new item. We'll do a new item. You can see over here I've been toying around some things already. We want to go to new item because now we're on the server side, and we're going to talk about the Jenkins pipeline plugin. So here we want to enter a name, and let's just call it, I don't know, Go Cubs Go. Or just Go Cubs. How about that? And then we'll click on pipeline. Now you see that it's loading. And here are the attributes of the pipeline plugin. Up here you'll see some tabs, build triggers, advanced project options, pipeline. Actually, all this is on the same page. You just have to scroll down to get to those areas. So here's the pipeline name that we already given it. It has a description if you'd like to put something in there. Discardable bills. So this guy is good for, let's say if you have a business requirement where you only want to store the last 10 bills or so, right? So you can use this to store only 10 bills, or if you want to store something just for the for 30 days, right? Then you can discard bills that are older than 30 days. Actually, you can use those two in conjunction. So the next attribute, do not allow concurrent bills. Well, that's kind of self-explanatory. Next one is a GitHub project. No, this is not a GitHub project. This project is parameterized, but we may parameterize this guy later on when we do a token for authorization. Let's just keep going. This attribute is for throttling bills. So maybe you have, maybe you don't want bills to run right after each other. Maybe you want some kind of cool off period in between the bills. So you can throttle the bills to say, hey, don't run within 30 seconds of each other. All right, so that's what those things mean. Next we have build triggers. Now you can see that this is highlighted, build triggers. So this build trigger, build after other projects are built. That's pretty self-explanatory. All right, what's going to trigger is build periodically. It's on some kind of schedule. All right, that's what's going to build trigger. Build when it changes, pushed into GitHub. No, we're not a GitHub project. Poll SEM. So this can poll your Git repo. We're not going to do that yet. There's a quiet period, and here is a trigger builds remotely from scripts. Now this is a cool one. This is really what you want to do. Anytime you make a commit, anytime you push to your remote repo, you actually want to fire this off and tell Jenkins instead of having it poll. So that's one of the ways you can do that. Advanced project options, that just gives you the opportunity to give it another descriptive name. And down here, here's where some of the meat comes in. This is the pipeline. So there are two ways here that you can create a pipeline. One from the script, and then one from the your source code repository. So we're actually going to do both, right? We're going to show you the e-script, and then we're going to show you the easy source code repository way, okay? So let's do pipeline script first. Over here, it gives you the opportunity to try a sample. That should drop down, yep. So there are two samples here. There's a hello world, and then there's a GitHub plus Maven. Let's click on the hello world and just see what it gives us. So here we have a node. A node is a task, right, as it relates to the pipeline plugin. It's a task, and it schedules other tasks to run sequentially or in parallel. One good thing, one cool thing, I didn't mean to do that. One cool thing about the node is here you can have what's called a stage, and you'll see what a stage does in a second. I'm going to create a stage, and we're going to call it checkout. Checkout stage. Now we can actually go ahead and run this, and this will produce some output for us. Go ahead and save it. And we'll go back over here. So we're in Go Cubs. We'll do build now. It might take a second. This is going to create this nice little graph for us. Right? This is what the stage does. So this is the header, I guess, for the stage. And then you can see it actually executed, and then we should see some output here. There it is, hello world. So it executed what we told it to execute for this guy. Now let's go back to configure. That's not exactly what we want to do. We're just kind of going through options, going through the pipeline attributes. So we have a stage there. I think the next thing we want to do is try to figure out how we can go through and have this code, this script, this groovy script, go ahead and check out from our repository, right? So we're going to cheat a little bit, look at the pipeline syntax right here. This will kind of create a snippet for you that you can use in whole or in part. It'll actually show you how to create various parts of the pipeline plugin. So we're going to go here, and we're going to just do show me how to do a checkout. All right, this is what this is going to do, a general source code checkout. Click that. And here we need to enter the repository URL. So where do we get that from? Our repository URL, we can get that back over here in our this would be our repository URL. So we'll copy that. Copy it. Go back over here and paste that URL. Now when we tab out, it should give us a problem. It should give us an error. All right, yes, good. Errors are always good. I like errors. Nothing wrong with errors and figuring those out. So it says it failed to connect to repository. And why did it fail? Well, we haven't given it any credentials yet. So I've already set up a credential. Let's go and look at how you would add a credential. Click on Jenkins there. And here you can add some credentials. You got global credentials, and then this is the credential that I use. I used the SSH username and private key. Use the guy. From here, you're able to enter in your private key directly if you want to do that, or you can select from the Jenkinsfile, right? Not the Jenkinsfile, but a file on your Jenkins master. So the Jenkins master is the server where Jenkins is actually running. That is the master. Or from the Jenkins master at home/.ssh. So you can get the credentials from either one of those places. Now I've already done this, so we're not going to do it again. We'll click cancel. All right, so I'm going to select one of the credentials that I've already created. And when I click this, that error should go away. Yeah, we're good. Now, this is telling us that we now have access to that repository. That's what it's saying, because that error has gone away. So branches to build, you can build specific branches. Repository browser, a lot of options here. You can add additional behaviors, a ton of options here. Before scripts, after scripts, custom source code name. A lot of options here. Here, including polling, including changelog. Now, we're just going to go here and say, now remember what we're trying to do. We're trying to access this thing to give us, a snippet or a full sample of how to check out from the SCM, right? How to check out from this Git repository. This is what this thing is going to generate for us. Scroll down, generate pipeline script. And there it is. So we can now copy this and go back to Go Cubs Go, right, and go to configure. And we can go down here to this stage, check out, and we can paste that here. Command V. Let's do one thing and add one more stage just so we see what that looks like. Stage, not state, stage, check out, and we'll just call this one build. All right, we're not going to do much here, not yet. We'll say hello from build stage. How about that? All right, we can save that. Now we can run build now. It's executing. It has executed. Was that fast or what? So now you can see that what? It actually checked out the project, checked it out from the repository. Certainly did. Checked out from the repository. And over here's our build stage. Did it print out what we told it to print? Hello from build stage. Yes, it did. Now let's go and edit one more time. I'm going to go and configure. So now we know that checkout works. Now what do we do in order to build? So in order to build, I'm just going to go ahead and type this in very quickly. Maven home equals 2 and 3. I've already configured this embry tool environment variable. sh $sign Maven home. Is that right? Yep. /bin /mvn. More attributes. Verify. Bam. I think that will get us there. All right. So let's run it one more time, because this is actually going to build it for us, hopefully. Run now. Build now, right? See, now it's taking a little bit more time because it's actually building. Let's see if it built properly. So again, it checked it out, even less time this time. Now let's look at the build log. Shell script. Aha, and just like before, it has actually executed Maven and built the project, executed tests. Here's the code that we actually entered back on our development machine about 10 minutes ago, and it's all working. It's all working. So let's do one more thing. Let's go back to configure, and instead of running this from this script right here, go away. Let's just copy this. Now we know it works. We'll copy this, and we'll create a Jenkins file. Make sense? So let's go back. Yep, go back here, and then we will vim Jenkins file like that, and we can insert and paste that in there. All right. So it's the same thing, just executed. If you want, you can add another stage here. Well, let's just do it, just so we can see that it's different. I don't know. I'm thinking of something to say, but we're just going to call it finished. It's not very good. Echo. We'll just say what? Last stage. All right. That should get us there. So now we just created the Jenkins file. Now go back over to the browser, and instead of doing pipeline script, we're going to say a pipeline from SCM. Now we just did pipeline from SCM. Now we got to do the same thing over here. Have to go and tell it which SCM we want to connect to. Let's still go back over here and copy this IP address, URL, copy that, go back over here, I'll paste that in, and again, it's going to give us that pickup. All we have to do is select the right credentials, should go away, and now we're good. Now we're good. Now instead of running this from the inline script or the browser script, we'll say, hey, grab this from the Jenkins file. We're going to save that. Now you notice we went over here to our local machine and we created the Jenkins file, but we have not put the Jenkins file yet. Right, it's still on our local machine. It's not on the server where Jenkins can actually access it. So we're run a git status, see where we are. See, that Jenkins file has not been moved, or it hadn't even been committed yet. So we're going to do a git add, then we'll do a git commit -m, right? Adding Jenkins file, like that. That should work. All right, we've added that. Now we can do a git push origin master. Bam. Now that file is there. Now if we go back to the browser, I know it's back and forth, right? This is dev and ops together. I believe we click build now. Well, let's look at the configuration one more time just to make sure we haven't done anything weird. I think we're okay. We can do build now. Now we should see our 3 stages should. Here's the third stage that we added. And now we are running from our source code system instead of the browser GUI. And that, my friends, is about it. That's all I want to show today. We will go deeper and dive deeper into some of the attributes of the Jenkins pipeline plugin. But that's it for today. Hope you learned something. Take care. Bye-bye.